welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky.
Here I go! This hand of mine is burning red!
And I'm Michael. Realize the only ones who should kill are those who are prepared to be killed.
Johnny.
Your darkness swallowed up my son? Who decided that?
Erupting! Burning!
Now all of you.
Die.
And 3, 2,
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I am Lucky.
I am Maku.
I'm a Johnny.
And we make up Anime Casuals, and Johnny is doing that. Hopefully he doesn't end up ruining his headphones like he was before. The move! Damn it,
Whatever
dude.
it's called.
I don't know what it is.
I don't even know how to look it up either.
Dude, if any of you guys know, maybe Red Moon, Blood Moon, you know, like how what the hell is this thing where like they do this thing and then like all of a sudden like there's another person behind them doing this thing? What is that thing from anime?
Durarara.
Like the
I've
windmill
seen
thing?
it. But I've seen it like
Yeah,
two or three other times.
They're like, I'm gonna beat you up or something, so they do this. But it's the whole thing. I don't know.
Oh my god! Funny enough, that has almost nothing to do with what we're talking about today. But we had to know. I had to know the minute I saw Johnny do that. So today we are talking about mechanics / engineers in anime. I'll get to the main inspiration behind this list, and then I'll just take everybody's main one. So since I was the one that came up with this list, I'll go ahead and take that one real quick. Actually, you know what? No, I won't. I'm going to take a very interesting one here. And this one gets overlooked a little bit because there's another person in the same group who does a lot of the engineering, mechanic work and stuff. But I'm going to go with Usopp, actually. There's another one on that I'm going to leave out just in case you guys have him on your list. But I was really impressed with how Usopp basically made Nami not suck. You know what I mean? Like, Nami was just this character with, like, a pole. And, I mean, that's cool because she's hot and she has a pole. But, she wasn't doing anything hot with it. So, she's getting her butt kicked. After a while, eventually Usopp... by the way, this is from One Piece in case any of you all don't know. But Usopp basically makes, like, this rod that controls, like, weather. And at first I was like, what the heck is going on? And it was one of the first times where we really saw Usopp like show his brilliance, because obviously he's known for lying. I mean, that's his main thing, but also being a sharpshooter and everything. But this is like completely out of his wheelhouse. So for him to really make this thing, first off, I think since the other character hadn't shown up yet, I think they kind of needed him to do something for her at some point. So they're like, Usopp seems like the right person to make this. But yeah, at the same time, he really showed a lot of brilliance in doing this. Also, I've never seen anybody else be able to do this. Like, I out of everybody, we've seen snipers like Usopp, we've seen brawlers like Luffy, we've seen swordsmen like Zoro. We don't see anybody like, oh, I control the weather, like Nami, and that's all thanks to Usopp's pure genius. So yeah, Usopp is going to be my first one here.
Did he learn to do that from copying the technology in Skypiea?
I think so. I think because they have like the clouds.
But yeah, I don't know. Still, that is crazy. I don't remember that a lot. That that's a huge thing to think about. I'm always like, Usopp, you could always be doing more, but that's a pretty important thing.
Pretty important.
Thanks for reminding me.
Okay, so it wasn't until just before this video that I feel like a better representation of this could have been scientist. Because a lot of scientists in other anime are mechanics or engineers or whatever we want to call them. So we're going to start with his name's Lloyd Asplund, and he's from Code Geass, and he's the guy who literally made, what's it called? It's not called the Excalibur, it's called the Lancelot, and literally makes the Gundam of Code Geass. And it's the Gundam that, like, the entire series, Lelouch is going like, how do I beat this thing? How do I beat this thing? Oh, that's right. I'll go get a Death God as a robot, and then I'll use that. And it's like, doesn't make sense how it flies or how it does anything, but it's amazing and epic. And he's like a really underwhelming character for like a lot of it, but like the entire time there's this weird like marriage he's having, like the entire like whole series where it's like, hey, oh, you're just getting married like princes are, and it's like, oh damn, this guy's actually important, and he's like, oh yeah, you know what else? I also made like the best robot ever and all this like futuristic gizmos. And then on the other side, I forgot her name, but there's like an amazing scientist on Lelouch's side. And I think that all three of us can just sit back and enjoy her because she's fantastic. And
Always laying down.
Yes, always laying down and like smoking a peace pipe. But like the entire time, eventually Lloyd and her meet, and it's just nonstop good bickering of just them going, "Who's smarter? Who's smarter? Well, I invented this. Well, I invented this," and it's fantastic. I love that.
That's fair. I mean, that's one thing. I always like their little game, like extra from the show. It's just like, no, my stuff is better. No, my thing is better. Lives don't mean anything. Look at my toy; it's way better. Whoops! I went to the wrong thing. I had to take pictures of it to respond to things.
The wrong thing is his next pick.
So my first pick, some of mine are kind of a stretch, but it's Emiya from Fate.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, see, I thought it was a pretty interesting. I mean,
also, actually, before we get into this, this is a massive spoiler coming in here, so yeah, just to let you guys know.
Oh, fair enough. If you haven't seen Unlimited Blade Works, oops, go watch it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we start off with seeing this guy, and he's just walking around everywhere, like all of the school, like just fixing things, computers, I think AC units, all this other stuff, electronics, and he's always just doing it by himself, and he gets it done. And that just kind of evolves into his own character where, he wants to be, a hero, a heroic spirit so badly. He manifests that big part of him into his heroic spirit. And he just makes copies of swords, and he just makes them over and over and over and just making them stronger every time. So I thought that was just a really cool way of just he's just engineering his own nonsense whenever he wants, and his fight with Gilgamesh probably only helps that. So it's all great. Whole show is fine. Yeah, there you go, Emiya.
I just want to do a quick shout out. Her name's Rakshata. I didn't want to leave her out. So
okay, Rakshata, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
That's a wild name.
Yeah.
That's a wild ass name. Let me see here. Where do I want to go? Okay, actually, since you mentioned Gundam before, Michael, I mean, we might as well talk about the OG
all the
Gundam.
characters in Gundam.
Yeah, no, I mean, this particular person I'm going to be highlighting is actually the father of the main character, Amuro. His name's Tem. Now, granted, he's a lunatic. He goes so crazy at one point that even Amuro has to be like, bye, Dad. Like, I can't deal with you anymore. Because all you're thinking about is because he's the one that creates the original Gundam, like that we all know and love, the RX-78. And he creates it without actually knowing that his son will eventually be the only one that can ever pilot it, because of how good he is and all that kind of stuff. And so, and then, but he creates this Gundam that is basically the nightmare of the Zeon, who are the Earth Federation, are facing. Which, I mean, because all their other mobile suits suck. Like, if you guys have ever played any of the Mobile Suit Gundam games, every other mobile suit sucks. The gun tank is literally just a tank. It doesn't do anything. It just like rolls around really slowly.
With a gun.
Yeah, exactly. We got like the gun cannon, same thing. It just walks around. Doesn't have a beam saber or anything like that. Every Zaku has a beam saber from the Zeon. And then this guy was just like, hey, why don't I just make this this Gundam with a beam rifle, which it seems to obliterate everything that's in front of it. But yeah, he creates this thing that basically just destroys. Also, it can withstand going through the Earth atmosphere and crashing into Earth, which is like, what? It did what? So yeah, the way that he created it is so crazy, but also that drove him crazy. But either way, I think he deserves a shout out for creating the OG Gundam.
That's good. That's good. I think I'm gonna go with another dad. I'm gonna go with Gendo Ikari from Evangelion. Now, he wasn't exactly the engineer, but he definitely helped craft with his team of scientists all the Evas. And it was kind of his leading forefront idea, be like, hey, what if we did this? And then like a really I forgot her name, but like our favorite like blonde scientist that's in the show, like her mom was like, oh, well, that's cool. I'm gonna make like 3 artificial intelligences that are like super human brains, and then they're gonna help us figure all this out. And then the 3 of them together were like, okay, so we're gonna take those alien bodies and we're gonna make them into robots. And then nobody stopped them and said, that's a ridiculous idea. Maybe you shouldn't do that. But he is such an a-hole the entire season and the entire series, but all of his accomplishments are like not really the forefront of the series. It's more about like the kids doing the robot battles. But he really was the forefront of going like, hey, we need to fight these crazy things coming down. Oh, I accidentally nuked an entire city. Yikes. Yeah, hard yikes. But like he was the forefront of doing all this crazy stuff. Getting the spear of Longinus and like all this other ridiculousness. And to be fair, out of a lot of engineers, I feel like you would want to put alien robots on your resume.
Just that, no context.
No context. Just put that up there.
Absolutely not.
No, then you put forklift training under that. No.
Ooh, there we go. Finally,
Okay.
I can relate to this.
My next choice is going to be Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. I notice I choose Bulma a lot. I don't mean to. She's just
Bulma.
kind of crazy and can do a lot of things. But
her dad too.
Yeah, no, especially. I mean, that's the thing. I'd really like. I don't know if I want to see just like a special or if I just need to do some research and read up about the things he did. But I mean, yeah, Bulma clearly inherited everything from that man. She's a clone. No, that's too far. She's really smart. I don't know how that worked. I mean, because brains. I mean, I don't think they're quite that genetic. To be.
Well, I mean, it was.
I've bred a genius. She didn't like the future she had or the time she had, so she said, "Fuck that. We're gonna go find a better one."
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. So yeah, there you go, Bulma. Again, live with it.
A time machine in your pocket. Crazy,
dude. I mean, if only,
radar.
right?
How do you even do that? Like, how do you make a thing for like something that's not even from this planet?
Yeah,
it's all weird. I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point that I'm not gonna think too much about, so I don't ruin that show. The next one I'm gonna go with here is a little bit of a stretch here. No, I'm just kidding.
Stretch Armstrong.
It's Stretch Armstrong. No, it's not a stretch actually. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Vulcan from Fire Force. So Vulcan is the main engineer, mechanic, whatever you want to call it, for Fire Force. What are they? 8. Whatever, Fire Station 8. And one of the greatest things about him is just his backstory, which I'm not gonna spoil or anything like that. Also, it just seems that to me, like whenever we get like a bunch of characters we get a character with red hair, it usually means they're gonna be like a swordsmith, a mechanic, or something like that. Like it just seems to happen that way.
Yeah.
And so Vulcan has just done everything, and in fact, like he made Maki a lot stronger. She to think that she could be any stronger. And just all the little creations that he's made have really, really helped out that whole team. But yeah, just seeing how he goes from like this pit of despair to, just once you let him loose, man, he just goes, he just creates the craziest things. And if you haven't watched Fire Force yet, highly recommend it. And also watch what he makes because it is freaking awesome.
I put on my list Guy from Fire Force because I was like, I have no idea who this is. I forgot his name. And I was just like, that guy with the red hair.
Guy.
Yeah, I was like, classic Guy. And then I was like, I totally forgot who he was. So I'm going to follow mine up with Urahara from Bleach.
Okay.
Like, literally, he's an engineer, right? Like, he makes all these weird spirit gizmos. Gizmos?
He was the head of R&D.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Especially the G, though.
before the other baby guy took up. And like that whole thing with him is that he makes a lot of Ichigo's gadgets before he becomes strong enough to not need them. So, I mean, with that whole thing, it's kind of interesting how important Urahara is, and constantly, I think in the first 100 episodes, it's like, hey, I made this bubblegum. Try it out there. I don't know, the bubblegum is going to help you out. And then he makes this other thing, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna give you a bunch of tools and shit, and then you're gonna try it out. We're gonna see if it works, and then
Let me know if you die.
yeah, let me know if you die. You know. So it was I like him as a character. Also, he's pretty funny, but also insanely mysterious until like 3/4 of the way through the anime
That's true.
Nice.
for no reason. Yeah, Johnny.
So my next one is it's Mei Hatsume from My Hero. Hopefully, Lucky didn't say that because I didn't hear him.
Nope.
But I tried to do a little casual research just to make sure I remembered what her power was. I mean, I thought it was just the microscopic eyes, but it even said like intelligence, and I don't know. But either way, I always figured that her power is the whole microscopic eye thing. But I mean, a lot of that is still just kind of her like knowing how to do things with it. I mean, she was able to take that and make herself kind of a genius and crazy engineer making insane stuff. I mean, I don't know. That just seems awesome, and that's a great way to use a power, I guess. I don't know how else you'd use it.
Yeah, she's got like eagle vision or something, right? Like she can see super far away, but in retrospect, she can just see really small as well because she's got super vision.
Yeah,
so, it's
that just gives her access to so many things, and she's used it super well. So, Mei Hatsume.
Good job, May.
Dude,
we love
that's
you.
a good one. So yeah, we're gonna go into lightning round real quick.
Lightning round.
Before we get going here. Now we get to get some of my weird ones. Well, actually, no. First one's not weird. Actually, was the inspiration of this list, but I feel like we just talked. I think Michael had just mentioned her last episode, which I don't. Not last episode, like an episode before. Winry, Rock Bell. And yeah, I
love Winry.
One of the best mechanics. I just feel like she's been mentioned so many times. Fullmetal Alchemist has been mentioned so many times. Then there's Shao Tucker. We're not doing that. Anyway,
You stop.
Anyway, we're just gonna go to a couple more from One Piece. Dr. Vegapunk, creator of Frankie. We also have. I thought I had one more here from that, but then we have Wise from Eden Zero. He has a very interesting power that helps him like power up technology around him and all that stuff, which is fucking crazy. And then this is my stretch here. This is Mars from Heaven's Design Team. So she is the one that basically creates the people for God and everything. Yeah, thank you. I left this for the lightning round just because I was like, I don't want to deal with dealing with the definition. So she's the one that makes like whenever God wants something, she's like, how the heck am I gonna make this? And everybody, all the design team is like trying to write out the statistics and everything, and she's got to go test this thing out. But yeah, she's the one that makes all the creatures and all that stuff. So a god in and of herself, I guess.
I was gonna say you could say that whole team because they're
exactly.
all animal engineers. Mm-hmm. Great suggestion, Lucky. I think that's a really good one because they're literally animal engineers. Mine is the main character from Decadence. She's like sort of an engineer. That's kind of a stretch. Like she's fixing the outside of the giant robot of Decadence. But beyond that, like I don't know how much else she does. I also had Frankie. I had Frankenstein from Soul Eater. Because I think he's what he like makes. He founds weapons. Like he makes weapons. He also makes stuff. He's like R&D for the Soul Society of Soul Eater. Yeah. I put Silver's Rayleigh, but I only know of one engineering feat he does, which he puts bubbles on ships. So I was like, I guess he counts, right? Like he's cool. I put Leron, and the last one I would say is my favorite engineer is Senku from Dr. Stone. I have to mention Senku or Dr. Stone almost every episode if I can, just to rub it in Lucky's face.
I'm triggered.
Because one day the next season is going to come out because the OVA is already out, and he's going to have to watch the next season because it's going to be our list, and then he's going to have to catch up.
That. We'll see about that.
So you actually made me think of two while you were saying that. One would be, I don't remember his name, but it's Frankie's adoptive father who made the list, didn't he?
Yeah, the Fishman.
Yeah, so I mean that's insane.
Fishman Jones.
Actually, also from Dr. Stone, I wanted to say the guy who works with
Dr.
Stone. Just because he came from nothing. I mean that's pretty awesome that he's like got that far with really not much prior knowledge.
Be fair, he's a mad lad.
It was more of an honorable mention. Would be everybody who lives at the base from Iron Blooded Orphans, because if I remember right, they worked on the mechs, doing stuff there, and then they even like they repaired them to keep them functioning, and then they throw them into battle and stuff. So I mean, those guys are really just kind of like fighting for their own for a good while until they became a force more to be reckoned with. But I mean, they kept their stuff alive. So
We love you, Biscuit.
oh, Biscuit.
Why
Just sad about pastries. Poor Biscuit.
I was when the biscuit got covered in like gravy, I was like, whoa, that's gonna be good. And then it was like bad flavored gravy, and I was like, oh, dang it. Oh, biscuits.
man. That bad flavored gravy.
And cookie. And the other food. What a weird family.
Iron-blooded biscuits.
Iron-blooded food.
Oh my gosh. If you guys knew what we were talking about, you wouldn't be laughing. Either way, guys. Remember, you guys can check out All Things Casual at the link tree in the info box down below or the description box down below. Also, if you'd like to email us, you can email us at animecasuals with an S, real, R-E-A-L, at gmail.com. But as always, guys, don't forget to keep
It
Casual.